Not often here in Acadiana that we talk about a warm front. We always talk about cold fronts and how excited we typically can be for those because they make things so much more pleasant down here in South Louisiana. But today we did have a warm front that passed through and then warmed up, especially our overnight temperatures where we were falling into the 30s. We actually are now sitting in the 60s overnight tonight. And you can see that here, but attached to that is the low pressure, bringing in a cold front that we'll see making its way through the area Saturday morning. Now, because of those fronts, the winds like to blow into that direction. You saw where that warm front was painted, and look at the arrows of the wind gusts blowing straight into that front. And you see the highest today was 36 miles per hour in Lafayette at the regional airport that was recorded. New Iberia wasn't far behind with a wind gust of 29, so right exactly around where we expected those wind gusts to be. Now that advisory expired earlier tonight at 6 o'clock. Winds still breezy today and overnight tonight into tomorrow, but not nearly those gusts that we had. Now the front tomorrow, it's already passed. Did you catch it? Because it was that quick, and that's what it's going to look like. It passes through early Saturday morning with little to no rain expected for the areas. Only a slight 20% chance. This isn't one of the cold fronts that are expected to bring strong severe weather with it or anything like that. So just nice and more pleasant weather. Now low temperatures overnight, we're pretty much already at what we can expect them to be, just those mid 60s, even just a little bit lower. Not going to get much cooler than that overnight. Likely some patchy areas of fog in the morning will develop because of the temperatures that we're at right near those dew points. And highs tomorrow, yes, that cold front is passing Saturday morning, but it takes times for the winds to shift into the front to come from the north and bring colder air down, so we're not going to see the effects. So those highs tomorrow are correct, where Ville Platte is at 67, Lafayette is at 72, Crowley 71, really staying in those 70s until Sunday. Lake Arthur 72, Abbeville 74. So we're staying in those more warmer than normal average temperatures until Sunday when that cold front moves in, and then we pass it through and the northerly winds bring in that colder air. Now clouds still moving pretty quickly tonight that are left over and lingering because of that low level jet that we have. Still breezy conditions with winds about 10 to 15 miles per hour, especially if you're offshore over the waters where a small craft advisory is going to stay in effect through Sunday. But then tomorrow a lot better as that front passes, and then we get partly cloudy / partly sunny skies. You can look at it one way or the other, and we'll start cooling off, but not for long. But let's take a look at that in our 10-day, where Sunday much better. Those winds finally weakening down and giving up. And then we get a few more days of seasonal temperatures, but warming right back up into next work week. And look at that, near 80 already. Our average high temperature this time of year is 62. So still warmer. It's definitely a weak cold front, but we get a much better one coming up next weekend. Now these numbers aren't quite decided yet. Models are still back and forth, so don't cement those numbers just yet. We're just focusing on tomorrow's cold front, nice little weak one, just making the weather much more pleasant for us here in Acadiana. So enjoy that beautiful weather for the first weekend of the new year.